Bounty Hunter, of course, going to be very nice here for EG in the sense that they will be able to keep checking out how that AM is progressing and try and do the best that they can to disrupt his jungle as well. We are, of course, going to see Ice TPing straight down here to the bottom lane to get some early ward down into the Radiant jungle. But EG versus VICI, game 1 about to kick off. Big shout out to anyone joining us over from the mainstream now on the various platforms that we are covering this game on today. This should be a good one. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be sticking around and interested in this one between two of the highest seeded teams here in the International 2015 to see how it exactly goes down. So EG at the moment heading towards the top rune. Not seeing any kind of 5-man movement at the moment from VICI. They're kind of spread up around the map. So if anything, EG should certainly look to try and secure themselves this top rune here.
Their level 1 is also very strong. When you have Gyrocopter and you have Arctic Burn, all you have to do is hit him once with the slow, and you can just kind of walk into him, and a Rocket Barrage or two will probably secure your first blood. I think VICI are well aware of this. You can see their positioning. They're not really all in for the top rune at all. They assume that EG are most likely going to be there, so what's likely to happen is they'll just trade top bounty rune for bottom bounty rune, and then most likely the heroes will just run mid and then start their farm off. But I think the Lesh versus Storm matchup definitely favors Lesh. But I'm not sure how much emphasis EG are going to be putting on this middle lane. Like, how much is Aoi going to sit here and try to be a nuisance to Super? And if he does, is that going to be enough to get Sumail off for the start that he needs to stay ahead of this AM?
It's going to be interesting to see indeed where Aoi kind of rotates around and looks to prioritize in terms of securing a lane for his team. Super's going to grab himself the bottom rune, and Sumail will find himself the top bounty rune here. So both of them is getting an even start up here in the mid lane, with their respective supports getting the blocks off as well for them. And we'll see indeed how this matchup goes down already. We can see Aoi there just getting the intel here on this bounty hunter. What exactly is going down, and already they're playing it very safe there with the courier on the side of VG. They do not want their courier getting sniped.
Yeah, the salve is very important for both heroes. If for whatever reason you lose your regen in a 1v1 matchup, you can all of a sudden just straight up lose the lane. Because one hero realizes, oh, you don't have any regen, I just harass you a bit, and then it's very, very easy to do that. We're going to see some tango trading here in mid, just going for those sentries. And Aoi actually came to lane with 2, whereas there was only 1 down there from Super, but I think FY is going to come in and make sure that that sentry is going to be killed. And I believe that was both of them? Yeah, so Aoi's out of sentries now, which means that if he wants to camp that middle lane, that it's not going to be that useful.
We actually saw at the bottom there as well, Ice making a very nice play in terms of blocking up the creeps. He's managed to get the momentum there for himself and Fenrir very close to the tower. So he's going to have a very nice start here. It's this dual offlane that they've got going on at the moment. Aoi, of course, sitting up top here with the Undying hits. It's dual lanes coming out from both sides pretty much for the time being. Lion just in the jungle at the moment, gaining some control. So Fear in this situation, how is he going to be able to farm here?
I think it's not too bad for him. The one nice thing is you're always going to have Cold Embrace to fall back on once the Winter Wyvern hits level 2 or 3. I'm not sure if he's going to go Splinter Blast at 2. I feel like the damage might be enough to secure a kill, but I think in that situation you're probably just trading. And I think VICI would be happy to trade with this lane. So I figure that he's probably just going to go Cold Embrace and then play defensive. There's no reason to go super aggro if you're EG right now. You just want to make sure that Fear gets like level 6 or 7, start carrying your TP, look for potentially counter ganks, and maybe even Sumail rotates bottom eventually when he gets enough farm and some treads to make a kill happen.
Mid lane as well, how's the farm going between the two? Pretty even at the moment. Sumail is going to get caught out by the stun here. It's just trading some hits with Super. Super goes in for this though. Aoi is there. They do have the sentry down and Super's well aware of this. Sumail gets himself back up to the high ground. Will bottle himself back up. Looking for the 2-minute rune here as well. Looks like, yeah, Aoi's going to be able to secure that for Sumail. He's going to be able to grab himself a regen rune. Very, very tasty.
That's insanely helpful for him. Like, not having to go back to base, not having to bottle pro. Bottom lane, gonna see some damage being dealt here from Fenrir.
And good old Burn there, doing a fair bit to Fenrir indeed. Fear just popping out the Rocket Barrage there, forcing the side back to Robin out. Ice going in with the snowball. Life Tracker is going to catch, but the Cold Embrace coming out from PPD. Fear's going to be saved here for the time being, and the power of the Wyvern there being shown.
Yeah, that's why the Cold Embrace at level 2 is so important. He was holding his skill point until the initiation came out, so as soon as he sees the snowball, he's like, oh, I'm gonna need this to make sure that Fear doesn't just die. But you can see the magical damage output from these two heroes, like Fenrir and Ice. It's not enough to actually kill if the gyro is at a decent threshold, so having that Cold Embrace pretty much just ensures that VICI will never be able to go full-out aggressive without getting punished.
Which is not ideal for VICI, because you bring a Tusk and a Lina to the lane, and that's exactly what you're going to be looking for. Aoi here, just looking to disrupt FY's going-ons here in the jungle. Gonna get a couple of hits in as well, forcing Lion back, and already Aoi doing a fair bit of damage here to Lion, bringing him down to half health. This is not a fun time here for FY. Aoi just eyeing him up here, keeping him behind the tree line. But all in all, still 3.5 minutes in, no one to fall yet. Both sides, it's going fairly even really across the lanes. You look at both the position one, it's a slight lead here for, of course, the anti-mates 13 for 3. Here at the moment 10 for 0. Having a bit of a tougher time on this safe lane. But other than that, pretty even. R2 Berg coming out, going to chase side down, but now he goes for the snowball, trying to turn this. He's there, trading hits onto Fenrir. Fear moving forward here. Fenrir's getting incredibly low. They're trying to fight with a Splinter Blast, they will. PPD claims first blood, bringing down Fenrir. The TP from F5 though, they're trying to turn him, but PPD, the player, with the cold embrace, keeping Fear alive. Fear's going to be alright. PPD gets himself out as well, and what a play there from the duo.
And their supports just do no damage. Like, even Lina having a double nuke and Tusk having a double nuke, Snowball only hits for 120 damage. It's not that good, and Ice Shard's level 2 is 140, so you're looking at potentially, what, 260 damage from, like, one hero? It's not enough to burst. Like, they need more levels, so once a Lina hits 6, if the Tusk hits 6, it's going to be enough to maybe kill, but up until that point, like, PPD, all he has to do is one Cold Embrace, and they're just back in fighting shape, like, right then and there. So the rotation from Lion comes in, and FOI with a level 1 stun, it's 80 damage. There's just not enough damage unless all the supports are in the same region to really secure a kill.
Indeed, and well, we're seeing a couple of the supports rotate towards the mid lane now. We've got Aoi hanging around with Sumail, just helping him to secure the runes. FY making those long walk back towards potentially the top lane, but Sumail actually with this invis as well. They're moving in, but the sentries down around the mid lane. It's going to make it very hard for EG to catch VG off guard here in FY. He's well aware of Aoi coming in on this one, and I think Aoi realizes as well, just keeping his distance away from the Lion. Ping's coming out.
They saw the sentry die.
Yeah, they saw it die. Are they going to be able to do anything off the back of this? So I'm sure FY will still be on high alert. They've got the backup of Fenrir as well. Aoi moving in onto Super. Still very, very tentative here. Super looking for a stun, just cancelling it here now as well. Moving forward, but just trading the spells here. Nothing going to come of it. I do know, but the Ice Slice is on his own here now on the bot lane, and then Fear and PPD are going to start to move in. PPD at least forcing Ice Slice back with the burn, and the flag cannon hits as well. Pushing Ice Slice back behind his tower.
If you look at the way that VICI are moving around the map right now, they're playing as they know that there's no vision of the high ground right now from EG, but that freshly placed ward in middle lane is going to be scouting out both the supports right now, so Fenrir and FY are pretty much just wasting time. Like, because of the fact that Sumail is 6, even if a lightning connects, it's not going to be enough to get a kill. And the fact that Sumail is sitting on top of the CS right now in this 1v1 matchup, he's doing more than expected in the situation, even with the supports rotating over. And now, I think VICI finally realized that if our supports are separated, they're just not as potent, and they need to be together, and they're looking to try to gank bottom.
Indeed, and the question is, how cocky has Fear got? Because he's known that he's been safe in the lane earlier, but now indeed with FY and Fenrir coming in, he could be in a lot of trouble. Ice going in with a snowball. There's your Hex from FY. They'll be able to bring down Fear. Where's your PPD now? No Cold Embrace for the Jara as he falls, and PPD is probably going to head back down there and stick around in next time, because without the Wyvern, he's very susceptible to being ganked.
Yeah, it was a little bit of miscommunication, I think. PPD went for the rune, and then Fear is just kind of sitting there out in the open, right?
So, oh, how? Needs to be careful with the Soul Rip, bringing him incredibly low. Couldn't quite find the range there for the Shuriken toss, and now just blinking himself away. Very scared.
He's going to walk
rightfully
off, man.
so.
He's fine.
He's got to spend a bit of time out of lane. I'll tell you that. No regen on him at the moment. He's very close to being able to bring him help bottom lane. We're seeing a bit of action going in with the Snow Ice Slice now. He's just snowball onto Fear. They're trying to turn it here with the Velvet Fenrir, but again, the Cold Embrace. Fear says, he doesn't even care about the magical dart because he's back up to 2/3 of his health. Having a grand old time, and very happy, I'm sure, that PPD is now back in the lane holding his hand.
Yeah, without the Winter Wyvern here, it's too easy to get counter kills. Like, all you have to do is snowball in. One person TPs, like the Lion, or maybe even just the 2 heroes can kill him if they're not around. I think
what's going down here? Ice Slice straight away with the snowball, but he got the backup of the Bounty Hunter. Again, the Cold Embrace means they can't kill Fear. Fenrir's going to lose his life here. Ice Slice just going to look for the simple TP out. They've actually rotated Super down here, but he's unable to find anything. And again, it's another kill here for EG. And VICI just getting caught off guard and getting outplayed.
I want to say he just punched into Cold Embrace. And obviously, like, Tusk punch is physical damage. So, I don't know. That was a little bit weird. I'm surprised they played that greedy. Like, they really just wanted to kill the Gyrocopter that much and they just go all in on it. It definitely did not pay off.
Now look at these stacks in the jungle already. Sumail clearing the one on the right. PPD ready to stack this one yet again. This Storm Spirit beginning to looking very scary. I mean, you look at the fact that he was up against this Lesh at the beginning in lane. Sumail didn't care. He still had a final time, keeping himself even in terms of CS top lane. They're going in on Universe. He's all left alone. How Fenrir and FY trying to do it. They're just going to throw out the stun here and leave it. The Tombstone has been dropped and they don't want to fight into it. by the looks of it, and they will back up. Bottom lane by the room. What's going on here? Looks like a bit of action here. Going on side, they'll be able to get that. That's one kill there for Sumail. Owie's there as well. Super trying to do what he can here, and he might be able to turn this in. No, he's getting low. I think they're going to be able to kill him. Yes, they will. Sumail will live on 45 HP. They get the Lesh, they get the Tusk. And Sumail is going to be A-OK, TPing himself back to base just in the nick of time.
That was the manliest thing I think I've ever seen. Going in, putting yourself completely out of mana. Like, all he had to do was ball to dodge the stun, but he balled like point blank with the DD and said, yeah, okay, whatever, just use all your abilities, it's fine. I'm still going to kill you. By the way, we mentioned Universe a little bit earlier when he was getting ganked. Can we please address the fact that he has 45 CS?
Wow.
Like, he's sitting up there.
The second highest on the board.
He's sitting up there against Hal. I mean, Hal's still farming alright, like he's 32 and 10. But we just saw 3 heroes try to gank Universe, and they could not engage on him. Like, they had to run away. And this is what I was mentioning during the beginning of the game, is their supports just aren't strong enough to deal with that hero. They don't deal the damage they need to quickly enough, and EG are just abusing them for it.
Absolutely, 4-1 the net worth. It's still pretty even across the board. Sumail, of course, with that lead, coming up to 4K. Nearly about 1,000 ahead of Super's Leshrac. 9.5 minutes in. They have the supports here towards the mid lane. FY and Ice, in fact. Just see if they can help Super out. Super's going to back up, and they're going to look for a smoke here, the side of VICI. See if they can catch anyone out. They're making lines. That's actually lines being drawn here by Universe towards the room. And the question is, are they going to try and contend this one? VICI actually moving straight towards the top lane. It's all going to be about whether Universe comes away from his tower here. He's playing it pretty safe. He's got to be careful there. If they can find the initiation with the snowball, Universe is in a lot of trouble. But he is level 7, he's got a buckler. Let's see if he can turn this one. They're going to go straight in. I don't think he's going to get a chance to. They're bringing him down. Teachers will come out. It's a little bit too late. Universe down with the cooldown. He's going to catch 4. He's not going to chase this one down. Aoi moving in, but Sumail says, we're doing this, boys. Goes straight into the full lightning. Onto FY, there's your Shuriken. They bring down the line. Super trying to turn us around with the lightning storm. Now the tracks are coming out. Fear moving around with the rocket barrage. Ice with the snowball. Turning into Fear. The lightning as well. House there as well with the Roarage Punch. They bring down Fear. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far. Aoi gets himself out of there. Sumail as well. And as impressive as Sumail's ballsiness was, it does cost them the Fear Gyro, and they're only able to find the Lion.
It was almost a nice turnaround. Like, after they go all in like that, I think it would have been fine to just say, okay, you just, like, 3-man smoke for an offlane Undying. Like, who cares? We throw the call down and stops the push, that's all that matters. Like, just preventing the tower from taking damage, I think EG would have been more than content with just not losing any damage on that. But they tried to go a little bit too greedy, get punished for it. I'm pretty sure that PPD wasn't able to be there. Yeah, he didn't have a TP, so if, for instance, he was there, they might have been able to turn it in a bigger way. But because of that, like you mentioned, they lose the gyro. Not really the most effective trade, but the important thing to take away from it is that Aoi hit 6. So now we got track of it.
Fenrir and High Size here going for a smoke up. This time towards the bottom. They might wrap around towards mid, but there are 4 members of EG all in very close proximity to themselves. In fact, they're looking for a bit of a smoke action themselves. He's coming out towards the dire jungle. At the moment, only on that side of the map is Hal, but Hal's going to be a big kill if they can bring down this anti-mage. The rotation from VG not going to find anything themselves. They've come down to the bottom lane. There's no one there at the moment. Now back towards the mid. They have spotted out Super alone, and they're going to go into the slopes. But it's even coming in from top. Super's dead. Here comes Ice with the snowball, but it's still down to the river. Aoi's there as well with Sumail. Maybe they can find Ice Fear with the rat round. Coming with the rocket barrage. They're going to finish one. Ice getting high. They'll be able to take him down as well. He's going to fall. Aoi jumped in trying to find Sumail. Sumail walking himself back up to the high ground. Fear's there. Caught in the river at the moment. Is a bit of a mess. Aoi wrapping around, getting the tracks out onto the side of VG. And VG, 2 heroes down, EG this time losing absolutely no one. And these are the kind of skirmishes that you've got to be very careful about losing, because as you said, Aoi with the track available, the net worth difference is just going to get bigger and bigger, and we are starting to see Sumail climb away now at the top of the board.
There's just so much havoc being created right now by EG. They're not content to just sit around and let Hao farm. Like, Hao actually, I think, defeated that team fight when they were in lane.
Here we go, Sumail's draining, Aoi's there with the backup, and that is a dead Lina. That is a mega kill streak now for Aoi here on the Bounty Hunter, yet another track kill. And this is the problem when you're playing against the Bounty. Money.
Is under attack.
Going to the opposition. Loads of money. Here we go, Hao and Super, bam! There was an Undying there, he's not there anymore. He's in a different universe. 8 for 4, VG do find a kill in return. Now off the back of it, they'll just take down the tombstone here. Maybe trying to get a bit of a push on. And this is big for Hao. I mean, at the moment, he's got a Perseverance. He has got 1,600 gold on top of it as well. So he's going to have a relatively good timing here on the Battle Fury.
It's going to be all right. He'll probably have it like 15, 16 minutes. The nice thing is he's bought the the Claymore, so we can just finish it at the side chop. He doesn't have to abuse the courier anymore. He just sends it out one time and then he's good to go. But you can see, like, even now, like, VICI are finally starting to pressure this off-lane tier 1. But the TP reaction coming in from EG can always be there. Like, that's the one strength that having a Storm on your team gives you at this time is we have Bounty, we have Storm. If we see a team fight that we can take, we are going to take it. Here come FY and Fenrir.
If they find some mail here, they've got a finger at these. Straight up finger there to the Storm. He goes down. Fenrir and FY, there's a reason why they're respected as a support combo, going straight into top lane. There's a bit of a push going on as well from VG. Fortification has come out from EG. Moving forward there as well. Ice on the sidelines, but he's trapped up. He's actually smoked here. Maybe seeing if they can turn this around, but VG aren't going to go in any deeper. Aoi moving close into Ice. Just getting the trap back out, Fear. Still just smoked up here from the sidelines. This is a very active Gyro here. I mean, 14 minutes just moving around the map, looking for kills, looking for action. Super's coming in as well. Universe moving forward, and here we go to the Flesh Golem. Now he's popping down the tombstone. Cooldown very nice one with the ice on the snowball. George using it now with the ice shards. Trouble onto Fear. Universe trying to keep himself up to escape, but he's going to go down. Fear's going to turn this one around. The damage is in now. Super getting low. Super's going to fall, but Fear falls as well. Ice is going to lift the two off. The zombies go for Aoi. Will clean it up. Unstoppable grill streak now for the Bounty Hunter. 3 heroes for 2, but again, this is a trade where track gold is going the way of EG, and we can see it just here. Gold change 1,583, just 336 from VG, even though they got 2 kills and they were able to kill the Fear Gyro.
That was a 1,300 gold game for Aoi. 1,300 gold from just killing those heroes. That is completely insane. Even with Ice dodging the call down, they still didn't manage to walk away from that a win.
It's
when you make plays like that, you can, like, here we go.
straight nice Fenrir. Oh my goodness, wicked sick for round 2000. 7 kills, 3 assists, hasn't died at all. He has a higher net worth than the Super Leshrac at this point. In fact, he's second on the board. He's higher than Hal.
Bounty Hunter, man. What a hero.
There's a reason why we're seeing it first back down in a lot of games in the group stages so far. I really think the support pairing is why this is so rough. Like, yeah, when FY gets 7 or level 6, he finally makes something happen. Like, they got that deep ward in the jungle that ended up getting Sumail killed. EG have since counter-warded that, but when that kill happened, sure, that's nice. But up until that point, FY, he wasn't really able to do much of anything. Like, he just walked around a lot. Fenrir, they weren't able to kill the Gyro even one time in the bottom lane. It just seems like the lanes at the very least were so easy for EG to execute. Like, there was no pressure on them at all, anywhere. I mean, for crying out loud, Universe had 45 CS at like 9 minutes into the game. Oh, Ice. He's walking down to their 3 heroes on the side of EG, and they're ready to go. This could be potentially another kill here for Aoi with this Shurikens, the skill shot. There's going to be a snowball coming out. He's trying to turn this, but he has got backup coming in, but it seems too far away. Snowball going on to Aoi, but Aoi's just going to turn around. Give it the slap. Monster kill streak for Bounty Hunter. When will he stop? This man's got a solo crest 16 minutes in. This is getting ridiculous, and the Bounty Hunter getting out of control.
I don't know what to say. This is like the most farm bounty I think I've seen so far here at TI this early on. Has anyone actually had more farm? We'll have to get on it.
I don't think we've seen a bounty this effective. No.
Like, this is insane.
I mean, normally we see a bounty kind of hinder the opposition. This is just a bounty, just benefiting himself and transitioning into a crazy chord. He's still level with this anti-mage. I mean, AM, let's have a look. Did he get the Battle Fury picked up now? Yeah, okay, he's got the Battle Fury treads. So we should start to see him break away a little bit, but he's got a lot of work. Hal's got a lot of carrying to do if he wants to bring himself back on top of what EG have achieved so far in the first 17 minutes of this game.
All EG really have to do at this point is just continue pressuring. The thing about AM is even if you get a Battle Fury, okay, that's like the Naga Siren just picking up a freshly purchased Radiance. It still takes another like 10 to 15 minutes before you can do anything. I don't think EG want to give him that much time.
EG, if they can take control of this Ancient stack as well, this is going to really hurt for VG. They're going to spot it out now. The stack is there, Fear's ready to take it, Tombstone dropped as well, the zombies will tank up these Ancients, and EG will be able to claim this. Nothing that VG can do to stop it, and this is huge.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yeah, this is not great for VG right now. They really need to just wait out how getting some farm. At the very least, I think he's actually just going straight for the Vlads right now. So he wants to play the solo game. He's looking to his inventory and seeing that he's going Bloodstone, maybe feels safe to just go for the Vlads and then play it like greedy, try to go for Manta after the fact. If he was making Orchid, he pretty much has to go Manta.
Oh, so zip in, pretty much global, straight onto FY, 1-2 Bammer, he's got the stir, he's got the Hex, wanting some time, but this is the slow, onto the Lion, he's lying down for the long one, 33 seconds off the map. Another kill here for Samael, and he's going to be happy with that, of course, with the recently picked up Bloodstone, so a charge already on top. TP into the top tower coming from PPD, and now he's going to simply blink himself away. No one else here, but PPD going to soak up this solo lane at XP and work his way up there. Well, he's got none. He's straight in the mid lane, right up there. He's got a backup of Ali, no reason to do so. Universe and Samael turning up as well. Samael, he's got an invis rune. Let's watch this storm, because I think we're about to see him zip past a tier 2, a tier 3, and probably into another game. Looking at the ballsiness this guy's gone in so far. Ice on the bottom, trying to find his way towards what I imagine to be that blink dagger. Universe and Howie scouting it. Super comes anywhere close. Samael's going to be straight in there. He's just eyeing it up. And Super knows this. They keep themselves right back at the base. They've seen how Samael can get himself in and out with the pickoffs. They don't want it to happen again. Universe as well. He's continuing to look incredibly strong. Level 10 at the moment, finding the items. Size, just making the movements around, trying to get a bit more control here of EG's jungle here with the warding here from VG.
You can see like EG's positioning on the map. They are not scared at all. Like they're VG are going to try to go for a snowball here.
They can get a kill here. He's going to get the tombstone down. Universe down inside. No, the man comes up and finger brings him low, brings him down. They get the cover down. EG's getting the call down. Ice already TP'd himself the hell out of there. Said, mate, you're on your own. Lion's going to get taken down. They do find the kill in return. And that, of course, is going to go the way of Samael. He gets another kill and another charge on his Bloodstone.
If we're talking in terms of like net worth and gold exchange, or net worth and experience exchange, it was still better for VICI, because they ended up killing a better impact hero, like in the Undying so far, and honestly, I'm not really sure what else they can do at this point. Like, they're waiting for How to get his items, so they're looking for small engagements to where they don't want to commit to like a 4v5 or like a 4v4 or anything like that, because they know that they just can't contest. So they have to go for like these little small plays and force reactions, take a little bit of pressure off How so he can continue farming up. And the Vlad's is now done, so his farm rate, yeah, he's going to get much more farm out of this. He'll always be at a high threshold of HP, so ganking him is going to become a little bit harder. And if for whatever reason VICI managed to take a fight with that Vlad's, they can also secure Roshan, which is pretty important.
Got it.
Obviously, one of the bad things for How is the fact that he doesn't have that ancient stack to go back to. Regardless, still looking pretty good here on the anti-mage. It's all just about the rest of VG creating the time and space for him to continue on his quest to become a monster. Blink Dagger has now been completed here from Ice. Top lane Howie, level 11, 1900 gold here on top of the Solar Crest.
Oh, How.
Oh, indeed, going straight into PPD. They're going to use the Winter's Curse here as well. They don't want How getting away from this one, and he certainly won't. Killing spree picked up here by Samael. 4 kills, 6 assists, only died the once this game. And how many charges we're seeing on the Bloodstone? I think it was 11 charges now on the Storm's Bloodstone, 20 minutes in.
I find it a bit odd that How actually stuck around, because Aoi came out of Invis, right? He came out, he started hitting some creeps, he was CSing, and then he was like, yeah, whatever, I'm going to go farm the creep wave after I see the Bounty Hunter here. I think maybe playing it a bit too greedy right there, but I kind of understand the idea that if you're really far behind, you need to take a couple of risks to be able to get yourself back into the game. And I think that VICI are pretty much at that point. Sure, their 2 cores are still farming very well, but their supports are poor. Like, they are just dirt poor at this point. Like, FY and Fenrir, they are absolutely struggling to get anything done. Even FY, it's 22 minutes in. He still doesn't have his blink yet, although he is close.
They have got a sentry here, so Aoi needs to be careful. If he comes underneath it again, Ice can probably go in and in. He's just outside, he's got the dust though. They're looking for Aoi, they've had enough of this. Pesky crew, bringing him low, they're bringing him down. They will end his monster kill streak. They're going towards Target, FY simply TP's out. Ice getting out as well. Samael goes straight for the kill though, gets the kill onto the Lina, onto the Fenrir. And he's looking for more, super looking for the TP. Oh! Haven't quite been able to get on the electric
like mid-vortex animation when that TP went on. That was insanely close.
Top lane. Well, Fierce found himself a Super. He's going to try and 1v1 this. 1v1 me, mate. Could Super turn this around? He's less track. He's going to try his best, and he's going to just commit suicide. It's too much. He doesn't want to try up against Fear. And indeed, with a missile coming in as well, may have just won that duel. How? Looking for the cleanup crew here. Fear with the TP out in the sideline, and he's going to make it. How? Looking for the prediction, but gets it just a little bit off the mark as Fear's able to escape.
That was really nice awareness, though, from Fear to not take that particular pathing. They did have a ward, though, so it probably scouted him walking up that way, and then he just decided that it wasn't worth the risk of like getting blinked and avoiding giving away a kill. So the side strafe TP proving to be pretty strong here. We're gonna get some nice aggressive warding coming out from VICI Gaming at this point. I think being able to do something like sneak a Roche might be something that VICI are gonna go for. Again, they have that Vlad's, and How you are ballsy, my friend.
Indeed, he takes himself some H's, gets himself out. And Ice just making the movements now together with the backup Oh, super. Sumail, he's the target. Can they change stamina? Yes, they can with the light tracker and the gold. Laguna Blade brings the gold, and they will bring him down. Sumail gets taken out. Super gets the gold there. And that's a big pick off there for the side, especially against a Storm Spirit who is closing in on his Orchid.
And this is the timing when the supports of VICI actually start to come online. So we saw, like, using a finger, using a Laguna Blade, that is enough damage to secure a kill. It's just during the early game, VICI were able to bully lane so much based on the fact that their early game laning phase is just that much better. But now, it's at a stage where Blink is up on this Lion, so if FY sees an opportunity, they can definitely jump. And speaking out,
going in the mid lane onto nobody.
Ice is too quick.
He's too quick indeed.
He didn't even have vision of that. He just blinked away based on reaction. That's pretty insane.
Tower is under
Top lane,
attack.
Fear, applying the pressure into this tier 1. He's almost certainly going to find it. FY, he's been chilling in the trees for a while there. On the left, he's having a grand old
Dire's
time.
top tower has fallen.
He's playing very sneaky.
He was waiting for a potential
in the
TP
trees.
counter gank. Like, if somebody is in Lesh, TP's up there, or even like multiple heroes, and you just blink Hex, you know you can actually get that kill.
Wow. Yeah, blink out of the pit. Going to the Ancients here though. Can EG catch him out? PPD does have the Winter's Curse available, moving in or with the Arctic Burn, but Hal, doesn't want a piece of that at all.
Another steal the Ancients. No big deal. Get a little bit of extra gold going for themselves.
Go for it. Yeah, in fact, let's have a look at the graph. What's the kind of difference looking like between these two teams? It's around 5k, okay, in terms of difference, right, in terms of net worth. XP, a little bit less, but of course that 5k difference pretty much all down to the fact that this bounty is getting off a hell of a lot of tracks.
Yeah, but it's been a while since EG have taken a really big engagement. I think the last one we saw was around middle lane, when there were multiple track kills that were had from EG. And the more that VICI are able to slow the pace of the game down, even if they're only killing like one hero and then running away, that's fine, because then EG are much more hesitant to continue to pressure, and all they need to do is to get AF, like Manta-style finish, and maybe one other item, like whether it be like Abyssal Blade or BKB, whatever Hao decides that he needs for the situation.
Wow, he's on his own here. They do have the tower, the CG rep before he gets come in, but will he soon enough? Hao, then he got on Sumail, and he's going down, and he'll go. Bounty onto there, picking up the kill. That's a track killing and a half there for the side of EG. We have to get some pressure here on this top tower. The rest of VG, though, they're looking to take it out themselves. ISO moving forward here, clearing out the creep wave with the backup of Super.
Bottom tower is under
Fear,
attack.
he's out of there, so we may just see a simple tier 2 for tier 2 trade between the bottom and the top lane. TP coming back already from PPD. The question is, can we get the next one? It's already got. The tower's already got the TP's coming out. That's going to turn around and extend on tower. This might cost him his life because Sumail, but he's got the order. The head step from F1 and a finger. He'll take the back down with the slow ball. Sumail, we're going to play well, but the Winter's Curse. Sumail going to go straight for F1. Moving forward, bringing in the line with the punch. F1, move forward. PPD Universe trying to work themselves together to find Super. Sumail's going to get himself the hell out of there. Incredible. Will manage to escape. The Universe looks to find Super with the flesh bomb here. Fear moving in. Triple kill for Fear. Team White, VG all hit the deck. EG only lose the bounty hunter. What a reaction there from EG, and thanks to the track. Look at the difference coming out. We're seeing a 2k, which isn't massive for a 5-for-1, but still with the XP as well. 23 to 11. You were saying how EG hadn't won a big engagement in a while. There's your big engagement.
I think that VICI just saw an opportunity to jump in and we're like, okay, we killed the bounty hunter. This is a fight that we can actually start taking, because the first thing that happened is Aoi dies. That means no track. So VICI are probably feeling much more comfortable in saying, okay, we'll make a full commitment. We have everything at our disposal except for Hao, who obviously died top prior to that team fight even starting. But I mean, PPD, he was on point with his Winter's Curse. As soon as Ice went in on Sumail, he had the curse before the punch even was used. So instead of being able to take out Sumail very early on in that fight, he ends up living. He gets a regen rune in his bottle that he had from earlier and pops it, and then the rest of EG just come in and clean up the fight. It was maybe the best case scenario, I think, for EG.
Now, they do have the helm, of course, on the Jarus. They've got the lifesteal to go for Roshan. Still, it's not going to be as quick as a VG attempt with the anti-mage. They're going to try for it nonetheless. They do have the Solar Crest, of course, on Arrow. That's going to help out a huge amount. My shell's coming in. So VG, they know something fishy's going on. They don't really have the potential to go straight for it, though. We look at the team that's kind of spread out around the Dire jungle. So it looks like they're just going to let EG have a free Aegis here.
I'm not sure where they're going to stop it. That's really the problem. It's not like VICI have any crazy wombo combos or anything like that. They have a blink initiation with their line, but that's not really like having a blink echo or like anything oriented, really. It's just like, okay, we can jump a hero and go for a pick. We can't turn a Roshan fight with a good impale unless for some reason you hit like 3 or 4 heroes, which is very hard to do. So, like you mentioned, free Roshan for EG. Storm obviously being one of the better Aegis carriers in Dota. It means you can pretty much go as hand as you like. As long as you get your man, when you respawn, you can just use all your mana to get out if you need to. And during this time, Hao, he's almost to his Manta now. So even though his farm had been kind of stunted in the laning phase, and he's died
Radiant's
twice,
top
he's
tower
managed to
is under
recover a
attack.
decent amount. And VICI are up
Radiant
here,
structures
definitely
are
babysitting him
fortified.
right now, just making sure that he doesn't die.
Yeah, Fear coming in just to clear this one out. We have to deny the tower here as well as VICI have found themselves
Radiant's
off getting
top
that
tower
denied, but
has been
still,
denied.
with the even with the reduced tower goal, probably putting Hal very close to that ultimate orb. Ending very close to picking up that final component of the Manta Star. And actually, that's going to get to a point now where suddenly, you know, the Storm's going to have trouble solo killing him with the Orchid. It's not going to do too much. And we may even see Hal try and turn up to a few more fights, or is the play still just to keep farming, let the rest of your team deal with the aggression of EG and wait until you get some more items online?
He might want another item on top of the Manta. Like, sure, he's capable of fighting now. Like, with the Manta being done, he definitely can contribute to a fight. He's got level 3 Mana Void, Manta, Battle Fury, Vlads. That's more than he needs, but I still feel like the strength of AM is not really the team fight as much as it is just ensuring that you can stay ahead of the enemy
Radiant's
carry, even in a
top tower
situation
is
where your
under
laning
attack.
phase doesn't go ideally for you. So if Hal wants to keep farming, that's fine. I honestly feel like VICI have kind of stagnated the game in such a way that even if the AM continues farming at this rate and the Storm continues farming at that rate, I think that the AM actually outscales because of what items the Storm has to go in this matchup. Like, for instance, I think Aoi is actually buying Lincolns for him. Yeah, he's got Ultimate Orb on right now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him just put Lincolns on Aoi for later on in the game when Mana Void starts becoming a real issue. But normally the Storm has to alter his item build to match the AM. And he's really, outside of Fear, the only physical damage dealer and a hero that can jump on him.
Oh, Hal here in the sidelines, pushing the lane with the illusions. EG is there with a wraparound. FY just outside of their vision. FY somebody just going to blink and TP himself out of this one as well. Hal getting himself away from the lane. He's already been cut here though by Sumail, trying to clear this lane back up so the momentum favours the side of EG on the top lane. And now maybe looking for a wraparound towards the mid. As a couple of heroes have revealed themselves here, both
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
but again, Ephemer TPing away. Is he going to be able to get out of time? Yes, he will. The TP is successful. Sumail unable to get that vortex onto it.
That was barely in time. Like, even like a half of a second or maybe even a quarter of a second later, and that would have been a very deadly event. But fortunately for VICI, they get away scot-free. No real issue there. I'm wondering if EG are going to be able to force it hard enough to make VICI fight. Because right now, Sumail has haste and bottle, and he's got half the duration on his DD left. For now, it seems like VICI are content just to try to split up the map a little bit, prevent EG
Dire's
from getting
middle
their
tower
5-man
is
together.
under attack.
I was going to say, at this point in time, EG have been incredibly elusive. EG have been looking all over for them, but every time VG's just one step ahead with the movements away. Sumail,
Dire's
DD
middle
doing a bit
tower is under
bit
attack.
of a push onto this tier 2, has the backup as
Dire's
well. And it
structures are
looks like
fortified.
EG should be able to take this one. Fortification is going to come out from VG, but they're sticking to the high ground. How at the moment, looking to pressure
Dire's
this
middle
bottom lane.
tower is under
Going
attack.
for that split push. And EG here with a full 5-man, ready to go for the tier 2. Maybe they want to try and force the anti-mage back and look to push on. But the illusion's already
Dire's
heading up
middle
to the
tower
tower here. They've
has
got to be
fallen.
very aware of the pushing power of Hal, as it's certainly getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on.
Now, breaking high ground is going to be the real test here for EG. They could just wait until Fear has like that critical mass point where he has like Butterfly and Satanic, and then maybe he gets a MKB depending on how items progress on the anti-mage. But for now, I think EG are okay with the fact that they're controlling the map and that VICI are kind of avoiding them to a degree. As long as they don't lose like a tier 3, I think they're going to be fine with it. Like they have a tier 2 or even a tier 1, I guess. And on top of that, they still their tier 3s. When the tier 3s start dropping because of Hal's Rat, that's going to start becoming an issue because then you have to send heroes back to deal with it. And VICI do have very solid chase potential. Like having a Blink Dagger on FY, you can also see a Skull Cube. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to catch out Aoi. Oh, there's a gem on Ice. Yeah, they can see him.
He needs to be careful. Straight in onto Aoi, the gem. Doing a lot there for the side of VG,
Radiant's
and that's a
middle
pick-off and a
tower
half
is
there
under
for
attack.
Linus. And Maya is clearing up this camp, but VG, these are the pick-offs that they want to try and be finding, because this is quite easily going to bring them back into the game. The fact that Hal, you know, he's leveled with the amount of farm that Sumail has got in terms of net worth. Even more of it, so
Radiant's
yeah,
middle
with
tower
that
has
tower pushes
fallen.
him on top. This anti-mage is getting very scary. Hal is going to be a real issue for the side of VG, unless they're able to do something about it pretty soon.
Oh, by the way, the Bounty Hunter is actually making Hex, not Lincolns. He just bought the Ultimate Orb first. And Hex is amazing against these heroes, actually. Like, being able to Hex one of the supports or being able to Hex Hal, just to get that burst out and then follow it up with like a Vortex or like a Winter's Curse, for example. It's a really nice combo to have. And the other thing, too, is probably going to end up catching him off guard because he pulled a lot of money. before he started buying anything. Like he's only 420 away, I think, from being able to actually pick up the entire thing.
Fear's got his completed butterfly now ready for the next fight. Of course, no one on the side of VG. Any signs of an MKB. How was saving up his money here on the anti-mage? Has he invested it in anything as of yet? No, still sitting on 3.9k gold. He's obviously got a few options to go for. I mean, if he does see the butterfly on Fear, does he think about getting the MKB at this point, or does he need to go for something like the heart or the butterfly first himself?
I'm not sure if you want to go MKB if you're Hao. I don't think he wants to fight yet.
No.
Like the way that he's been playing this game, it says to me that he doesn't want to take any engagements unless they're fighting like at a tier 3 on their own towers. And that's when Hao wants to go back. If that's the case, things like Butterfly and Heart are obviously good choices. Butterfly helps you push it faster. And I don't think the Storm would be able to solo kill him if he had a Butterfly. Like the evasion increases effective HP so much against physical damage that AM already...
Wow, Ice coming in with a shot. Oh, the aerial finger there coming out from Lion.
There was a bounty hunter there a second ago.
Indeed, this is the problems with this bounty hunter at this point, especially once they've got a gem. If you're going out alone, VG is just going to be able to jump in and get the pick off every time. And suddenly the early game, you know, of Aoi on that bounty, the amount that he was doing for the team, slowly slipping away as VG. I mean, if you look at the graphs now, it's got to start to have kind of turned around. It's turning around a little bit, but it is certainly starting to shift back away from EG and towards VG's half of the graph. But still a long way to go. You know, it is still EG with that lead. But they've got to be careful because it's slowly slipping away from them.
Yeah, I think the more of the game becomes like this and more passive, the harder it's going to be for EG to really go higher ground and break the base. And the longer it gets delayed, I think the AM probably has a tiny advantage just in terms of he has multiple venues of play, whereas the Gyrocopter and the Storm, they pretty much just want to fight. Like, sure, you can rat with the Storm, but it's not really that good. AM does much more damage to the base, so when he rats, it's just effective in that sense. How a bit indecisive about when he wanted to buy earlier. I think he actually bought a BKB, sold it, and then bought it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he sold it as in maybe he was asking his team what he felt he should buy, and then they said, okay, yeah, just get BKB because we want to fight. They could be just preparing for the next Roche. It is going to be up anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. So having BKB for that particular fight gives him the kind of power boost that he's going to need at this stage in the game to secure VICI Roche. Because if EG get it again, it's going to be really hard to stop that high ground push.
Both teams at the moment pretty much moving around as a collective. Aoi, I think he's kind of learned from his mistakes. He's sticking with the boys now. Doesn't want to go off alone. VG just moving around the map with Hao, ensuring that he can keep himself at the top of the net worth. Indeed, 19,000 at the moment on your anti-mage. Really breaking support. Bit of a smoke up here from the side of EG, looking to bait with Fear, pushing this bottom tier 2. But VG, they're not falling for it. They're here on the top lane and the middle lane, pressuring these lanes in. And I mean, EG, they're going to have to come back and defend this, and the TPs are indeed starting to come out. They should be able to get themselves this tier 2. I don't know if they can continue to press that lane to force VG back. I think it's going to have to be EG reacting, because Hao already onto the tier 3 here on the top lane with the illusions, bringing it down to half. And EG, they certainly need to do something about this action that VG's pulling off.
VG walk away the victors there, hands down. Getting damage on the tier 3s is so important for anti-mage. When those towers go down, you start dealing guaranteed damage to range racks as soon as you see an opportunity to start going in for a rat. And I don't think EG actually pushed fast enough to really deal with that at this point. So the dynamic of the game kind of changed to where Hao is the one who's going to start forcing EG around based on where he is, and they will find a pick-off here on top lane.
Again, Aoi just coming out on his own, and Ice is ready with the gang. Another pick-off onto the bounty hunter. I mean, he went from, I believe it was 804 now to 954. Aoi's being picked up quite a lot here. Which is great, especially seeing as how well he was doing initially, giving away a lot to VG.
It's just the Blink Daggers and the Glimmer Cape. Like, the form of initiation that VG have right now, you can't really ever be by yourself, even if you have Invis. I mean, of course, Ice has that gem, and he's had it for a while, but it's more just about the fact that if you have that many Blinks and forms of initiation with Invis, you're not really going to be able to sit and farm, no matter where you are. Like, you kind of have to be together. And that's what VICI want EG to do, right? Like, they want you to group up, so you start losing out on other lanes. Like, if Hao wants to push one lane, and then you say super somewhere else, and you're looking at a really good rack game for yourself, and I think that's what VICI's game plan is.
He's starting to get more and more farm to do. Still just 2,000 behind this Battle Fury AM. Just, pretty impressive here for this Gyrocopter. Obviously, the amount of Ancients that he's been able to get as well has helped out. With the Demon Edge now on top of the Battle Fury, on top of the Butterfly.
Yeah, but the main difference in gold is how much has Fear gotten from track. and just the fact that they've killed all the outer tier towers at this point. I mean, I guess VICI are only, what, 1 tower behind? So it's not really too much from that. It's mostly just because Fear has been contributing in terms of every single time they fight. Fear has been teleporting, like even top lane when they were defending in tier 1. But Track Gold equalizes the fact that AM actually has 150 more CS than the Gyro.
It's an impressive amount of farm that Hao's got at this 38-minute mark. Now he's confident enough to take it from the Radiant jungle. Roshan is back up. Now this potentially is going to be where we see the next big fight kick off. Hao's got a Basher. Shiva's guard now on Super
His
as well.
Basher's a base though. He needs to send a courier back. I think that EG just forces right away.
They're going to start going for the Roshan here. They're taking it pretty quick with the amount of damage that is got with Hao. He's so aggressive. VG no. Almost certainly going to look to jump in on this one. The question is, when do they kick it off? VG. Defense going up to the high ground. Stop trying to manage it. Super there on the low. Moving in. How can we straight to the it's on an illusion. And VG is back to fight 2-0. They fiercely too much damage from the BKB as well. They can't kill him. Sumail will bring down Super. FY is only left there with Hao. Hao's already out of there. FY is looking to TP out. And VG, they try to fight, but it just doesn't work out. Hao just says, screw that, I'm going to go for the push. EG said, no, we're not having any of that. There's 2 heroes down to the bottom lane already, but what a fight there for EG. Not losing anything, even with the slight, we won't talk about it too much, but the Winter's Curse blunder.
Well, the Winter's Curse thing didn't even really matter.
It didn't. Well, that's the thing.
The thing is, you need to make sure that the AM's not just hitting you straight away. So what you do is you just throw out the curse, and even the illusions are pretty tanky. So as long as he's not just hitting you in the face, once in a while, you're like, okay, that's good enough for me. I'm living through the team fight. I still got Cold Embrace. Ice died before he got to do anything. Like, he just exploded. I don't even think he used Ice Shards or anything. Like, he just died.
Just fear, the amount of damage he was able to get up in that fight was just insane. The flat cannon hits hitting everywhere. VG, they were just dropping and they couldn't do anything about it. And now EG, confident enough to start getting the push on as well. It's fine, get the Lincolns on too. Huge though from Hao, blowing up 2 hits, also drops the mail. Hao looking towards University on the undying. We've got 3 down. Yes, he put us a triple kill for Hao. Sumail gets the BKB off it, and he's got to get himself out. Oh, right back to the Radiance to the map, and back to base for you as well, Sonny Jim.
Did they not see the gem? There's a gem sitting outside the base. Okay, there's.
Yeah, they're heading back for that. But what a mana void! I mean, you've got to be careful when that man blows you up like that because
his Lincolns was down. So
damn,
like Sumail like went in, and maybe he thought his Lincolns was still cooldown. I'm not sure. How's gonna spot out for TD here? I'm not sure if he can get the kill. Probably just cuts the creep wave.
How's ready to go. I mean, look at him linking straight up hits the tier 3 with a healthy super.
He has full abyssal.
This is good. 40 seconds still with Fear on the sidelines.
He has full abyssal. He sends to the side shot. He might be saving for buyback. Right?
It's going to be something about buybacks. Buyback from Universe. He's being some on the defensive, but now Sumail will zip himself away. It's going to be okay for the timing. Now to return up. Ice gets the blink out. Splinter Blast just going to connect onto Super. By this time, still 18 seconds till Fear's back. And VG do seem like they're going to back up for the time being. Not looking to pressure anymore. Happy with the bit of action they've found there over the last few minutes. And back to just controlling the map and clearing EG out of their own jungle.
It's looking a little bit shaky right now here from EG. I mean, that was an Aegis push. That potentially could have been Rax, depending on how the execution went. I think we're starting to get to that stage where Heroes of the Bounty Hunter and even the Undying really just aren't doing a whole lot. And it's just because of the way the heroes function, right? Like, if the Bounty Hunter is in the mid-game, and he's getting a lot of track kills for his team because Sumail or, like, Fear are doing a ton of damage and they're getting picks, then he's doing his job. But now, it's a lot harder to get that information because he has that gem up on the Tusk, or actually, yeah, they got it back. All right, so they have the gem back on Tusk. And every single time he shows himself, he's pretty much just a target. He's only got 1100 health. That's easy for VICI to burst at this point. So it's very hard for Aoi to do his job. And because of that, it's a lot harder for EG to actually find the initiations that they want. And that's why the way that VICI have been playing it out, just by splitting up the map and only defending when it's necessary, has been working so well.
Absolutely, 26 to 17, but if we have a look at the graphs, it's got to have gone more the way from VG. Yeah, look at this. Slowly up and down, but now back to just a 3,000 difference in terms of net worth. And I've got it. This is VG dealing very nicely with a mix-up that was made a little bit harder for them because of the track gold from Bounty. Suddenly, they're just bringing it around anyway, finding the big pickups, finding the big fights. And it certainly seems like EG are struggling a little bit more than they were at the beginning.
It's just a matter of they kind of need to end the game. I really feel, again, we talked about Sumail's item progression and the way that he has to build his hero against an AM. He's got BKB, Bloodstone, Lincolns. Not a single one of those items actually deals damage. The only person on the team who deals physical damage is Fear. So if Fear isn't the one who kills AM, then who kills AM at this point? Because an Orchid is not going to be enough. He's got BKB and Manta. And now he's got the full Abyssal completed on the Courier with about, I don't know, 200 away from buyback. So we'll farm this stack and I'll have it. But now it's kind of like the AM is the problem. And that's not even including Super, who's still got Shiva's Bloodstone, 2,400 gold, and a Glimmer Cape. Like, he's still been silently like doing his thing, getting CS where he needs to, buying space for How. And the same thing can be said for Fenrir and FY. Like, they've both just played the I'm going to stay off map all the time, idly pressure by having a Blink Dagger and making Aoi die like, what, 4 times in a row?
Aoi's had a bit of a tougher time here towards the latter portion of the game. Just scouting out here on the top lane, but he's got to be careful with these jams. I believe it is FY on the line, holding the jam at the moment for the side of VG, yeah, indeed. So Aoi's got to be very careful where he walks. He is going to have the backup of VG, in fact, heading towards the Dire jungle as they make the movement up. How here. Is it coming out? Sumail's going to zip straight on it with the Hex going to try, but the BKB has come out from How now. Jumping forward onto Sumail, but the Link's Sphere is going to help him for the time being. The backers are real. They're coming out to Sumail, transferring down onto How. How now blinks himself away, aware that the rest of VG may be coming in to back up Sumail. Not potentially wanting to continue this fight, and VG will just disperse and disengage it.
It's a good call. If the BKB is running out, it's just too risky. Like, I feel like VG are in a position where if they just defend their base, like 1 or 2 more times, How will get so far ahead that it's just going to be too difficult to kill him. Like right now, Sumail actually needs damage. He might go for Hex, because it does give you that end, so you're getting a little bit of damage from it. The regen is obviously nice, and having another disabled to prevent BKB popping would be good. But I'm almost at a point where I'd say just get like a crit or something, because you just need to hit hard.
He certainly does at this point. He's still going to continue to farm his farm, still looking very, very impressive. Second on the board at the moment, keeping himself in touch with the Gyro. Chugging a thrown out onto Ice Ice here, spotted out here by the bounty. FY and How are around in the neighborhood as well. Aoi needs to be careful. Both teams, again, moving around as a full 5-man. We've got the full 10 heroes down here in the Radiant jungle. VG is just going to back it up, though, not wanting to get caught out. And EG moving, but VG have already done the dirty and got themselves out. And they might be coming back for more here. 1 seconds, here we go, How? The positioning is shooting around the jungle, and now the Wall Spirit goes straight onto Ice Ice to the Orchid as well. Can he go to the Ice Ice side? He might just be able to. Yes, he'll be able to bring damage, but now PPD for the side of this. Trying to do what he can. He's actually getting caught out here by How. He blows him straight away. That's PPD down. Universe trying to go back to the field here on the BKB, and he's trying to find How. How's simply getting low, Fear doing a lot of damage here, but look, more damage is being done by How. How getting low, they can Fear kill him. Yes, he can. Fear now takes down How. Super running around. How he's able to juke himself around the tree line. Sumail is out of mana. Can't chase down FY. Super going to see me able to stop out, but Winter's Curse there from PPD. Fear finds himself a double kill. EG proving that they still have what it takes to take these team fights. 4 heroes down on VG. EG just lose Universe.
Fear was pretty much alive that entire time, just wreaking havoc during the team fight. And the other thing too is, How couldn't find the mana void. He couldn't find Sumail. Sumail was pretty much completely out of mana. If he mana voids there, while Sumail is standing in that little tree line by the small camp, he maybe kills like 3 heroes with it. But unfortunately, he couldn't just find the targeting. It was nighttime. I think he was being juked a little bit around the trees. And at that point, Fear comes in, he's like, yo, I got a butterfly, you know. So all of a sudden, that means that without KB, how can actually plan to fight Fear? So AM needs to be the one to deal with the storm, but he needs the supports to help deal with Fear, because in a right-click trade, the AM actually won't be able to kill Fear.
Worth noting as well, of course, in that last fight, PP did buy back there to try and help out. Came in with that Winter's Curse, which in the end wasn't necessary, but obviously the intention was right there to secure that fight for EG. So it was essentially a 4 for 2 with a buyback coming out from PPD. Off the back of it, though, they were confident enough to push down the mid, take out that middle tower, and of course force out a buyback from none other than How himself on the anti-mage.
Yeah, the buyback there is a little bit troublesome. I wonder what his next choice is for item. Alright, he's picking up the Demon Edge, so he realizes that he actually does need MKB. Either that, or it's going to be another Rapier.
I'd love to see a Rapier. We've seen the Rapier, I believe, just the once with Jackie Mao.
No, the Rapier was fought like 8 times in the first game.
But I mean on an anti-mage.
Oh, yeah, I think that was the game where they were like ultra far behind and he bought a Rapier to try to equalize the game and push out really, really far. But I think it's much more likely that he's just going to buy an MKB.
Oh, yeah, I mean, at this point, VG, they're still in a good place. Obviously not as good as they were a minute ago after the back of that fight. But nonetheless, the anti-mage is still incredibly scary, 25,000. Sumail, though, his farm and his pickoffs have enabled him to keep at the same level pretty much now as this How anti-mage, which in itself is pretty damn impressive. He's looking pretty stacked at the moment, 19 charges on his Bloodstone. And now a Satanic has been picked up by Fear as well, so this Gyro, I mean, we saw how much of an issue it was in that previous fight, but now it's going to be even harder for VG to take down the old man in the helicopter.
And the targeting priority is going to be super important for VICI. Right now it's 2,500 health, 24 armor on the Gyro, with Butterfly and no MKB in sight for VICI Gaming. If How is able to get to MKB and he has Abyssal up, I think he probably goes on Fear. Because I'm not sure Sumail does enough damage to where How is feeling super scared of him. I think it's more just like, if we jump Fear and we kill him, and there's no flat cannon like annihilating our supports, we might be able to just take the fight and deal with the Storm that way.
Yeah, as you said, yeah, it's all going to be about taking down Fear in these fights. Because at the moment, he's arguably the big damage dealer for the side of EG. Obviously, as a collective, the spells from everyone else, it's a lot. You know, the lockdown from the Winter's Curse, everything else, getting out the Tombstone and the decays throughout the fight. Still mean quite a bit here at 49 minutes in, but it's all about Fear here on this Gyrocopter. Now at the moment, EG in a Roche pit.
This is really bad. This is Cheese Roche.
That's probably contested all from VG. They're starting to move towards it, but damage is just too much, and EG should be able to get this long before VG are anywhere near the pit. Sham willing to call, the Fear's got the slot there ready and waiting for that Aegis. He'll grab that one. It's going to be Universe here with the cheese to ensure that in these fights he does get off the mech and the boots, and of course those decays.
He could be setting up the trades.
It could, yeah,
it's very common.
Or top it up to Sumail, because Sumail at this point is, you know, he hasn't got any room. And if he can get the cheese onto Sumail, that's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, like if Sumail goes in, gets a kill, and then he comes back out, he can give him the cheese, he goes back up to full HP and mana, and then you can look to see another jump. So it's very likely that that could happen. And EG are going to be very happy with that, not getting contested at all. I think maybe VG, maybe they mistimed it, or maybe they just didn't feel like they could fight. Who knows? Like after the last engagement, they could be feeling a bit gun-shy, because they did kind of get home. So now we're going to have to wait out the next 6 minutes or so. We need to regroup, figure out how we're going to take the next engagement, who our target priority is going to be. I'm looking at How and I'm thinking, you're going to have to get rid of that Battle Fury soon. Like, Battle Fury is not a late game carry. I mean, I understand its importance and relevance when you're trying to push out lanes. If you want to actually kill that,
zigzag straight up onto F5, but F5 with the Glimmer Cape. What to do about that? F5's making himself out. Now we're going forward with the traction super. Now there's a drop to Mel. He can use him pulling super back. Can they bring down the super on his leg? Taking lovely point. BKB there to remove the silence. Will continue to run away. Cool down, get thrown down back there. Won't catch on onto anyone. And Super's going to be able to get himself out, but only just.
Just barely. And for now, I think VICI will be happy that no one got picked. Sitting up on that cliff, I'm pretty sure that FY is going to have nightmares about storms flying at him now. But it's still a very tense game. Like, either team can really take this. It just depends on these fights. Wow. And How.
He really wants to go for it. Get tries to get in there with the Abyssal. He will take this opportunity to get some of those tracks out here. So it's a little bit harder for VG to defend from the high ground, because VG are going to know exactly what they're up to.
Okay, so I'm looking at how it's going to occur right now and thinking, what does he possibly replace besides Battle Fury? And I'm thinking BKB is like, it's pretty mediocre for this game, right? Like, Winter's Curse goes through BKB. You can obviously still be tracked when you're magic immune. Call down a Rocket Barrage from BKB. I mean, obviously it's the safety of being able to BKB with Abyssal Blade and go in, but EG, sieging high ground now.
We're ready to go. Fair onto it. Now as I'm putting in those hops to BKB. Straight onto FY. Bringing him down to the road. He's got the limit going out. Pulling himself away, can be able to blink out as well. Onto Al. The wood pull back. EG on the Wyvern. Another Universe will be attacked with the side of the head. But now he's on the other spot. Attack. Snowball. The turnaround. The Malfoy. Triple kill for Hal. The base is defended. Really up on the side. Everything in front of the Gyrocopter. He'll fall as well. VG with the defense, and EG can't break the base.
The Mana Void, dude. You always got to be aware of the Mana Void. That did so much damage. He did almost double the damage of Super in that team fight. He did 6,000 damage almost to heroes, just because of Mana Void. He got a couple of auto attacks off, he gets put in the snowball by Ice Ice Ice, and then boom, everyone is dead. And unfortunately, Fear, like, he walks forward, he's in the front line, he's like, okay, look, I got Satanic, I got my Aegis and BKB. It's pretty tough for them to kill me, but they just ignored him. they just walked to the back line, made sure that Sumail was out of mana, get one good mana void, the supports are dead. And I don't even think there was a curse there, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure PPD died before he even got the curse.
Radiant's middle tower.
Certainly looks
is
like
under
it. Here we go. VICI with the push. How super. So man, just doing what he can,
Radiant
spin out from
structures
base,
are
taking back straight away. Trying to stop this push to clear out the creeps, but they've got a couple of siege creeps here. That's going to allow them to break away at that mid tier 3. How down at the bottom one. Buyback from PPD. Ready to defend, but already the tier 3 in the mid lane.
Radiant's
VICI
middle
able to
tower
claim that.
has fallen.
But the comeback from Fear now. Buyback from Fear as well. He realises it's going to be needed here for this defense. Loads of ults coming out from the side. VICI allowing to run away. They're going on and out, but Ice with the snowball protection. The cooldown's on. Circle straight out. Universe Super going to take down here, but low by Fear. But Super going to get through right. Nature Witches goes on the How. They kill How. Now they're going to attempt Ice falls well. Super. Stop it for 3 here. That's by Fear. Bringing Fear low. But he can't quite kill him. This is not what he called in place. Very rich the ball. F1 the last one to try and get himself out. How are we going up to the high ground? Trying to look for him. They will find him there with the vision granted by the Remnant. And now moving in. F1, the last remaining survivor. He's going to die as well. How actually buys back here just to defend the top lane of Rax. But what a fight again. Back and forth, back and forth. Both teams proving that they can confidently defend their base.
PPD and Ice both players, man, saving their respective carries at least for some time. He actually prevented Fear from dying in the first place. They had the Glimmer and the Cold Embrace combo that kept him alive. That Laguna brought him so low. It was painful how Fear didn't actually get dropped there. If they make him die back, I think even if they get like totally wiped off the map, like VICI would have been happy if they at least killed Fear. But they didn't even get that
close.
It's 20 seconds left on Ice and 20 seconds left still on Fenrir. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to defend this at Rex.
Yeah, they're going to, well, the range Rex are ready to fall. 2 seconds drop on the first there. Hal's got to be extra careful as well. He's also got the potential of dying back, as he did expend it also recently. And that's going to be the main Rex done as well. So the first set of Rex in the game going in favour of EG there in the mid lane, and they'll just get themselves out as well here. No point in risking it, especially as you said, with the fact that Fear still 5 minutes left on that buyback status.
I'm pretty sure EG are thrilled with how that team fight went in middle lane. If that fight went like any worse, you could very easily have seen VICI like buying back, using bots to go back in middle lane, and it could have potentially just been a very all-in play. So that fight on high ground in EG's base was very close to just being the end of the game. All they had to do was get like one big kill onto Fear, and then even if they're forced back in that situation, that means they know the buyback's down, and that Fear's going to be dead for like 2 minutes. So you're looking at things maybe going for a fake back, you smoke, you get one more pick, you could just end it. It was so close to VICI being able to take that, but EG, their coordination, PPD saving Fear, might have just saved them the game.
And let's have a look at the graph, because I'm sure it'll be an absolute mess after those far up and down, up and down. EG just about able to still hold on to that lead. 8,000 in terms of net worth, and now 12k. I mean, 55 minutes, certainly at the end of the world. We know that VG still have the potential to defend the base, but now a set of racks down in the mid lane. Obviously not the end of the world with a stacked AM. We're still going to be able to deal with those stronger creeps. No problem at all at 56 minutes in, but it's still a slight edge that EG are going to actually say very, very happy with at this point.
And that lane constantly pushing in makes it so, like, if How does get rid of his Battle Fury, it's going to make it a little bit annoying, because then you only have one hero who's really good at pushing out lanes, and that's Super. I guess Lina can do it too, but for now, How's holding on to his Battle Fury, just continually farming up. Still can get move charge spots too, but I think it looks like either get rid of his Battle Fury or keep it he feels like he can. The one thing though is Butterfly has become a lot worse of a choice now that Gyrocopter actually has NKB available. And the other thing too is they actually have Solar Crest, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure right now if VICI, they don't have buyback on How. They still got it down for about 4 minutes. And then Lion can't buy back either. So this high ground push, if EG decide to do it, which right now I guess Fear's bottom, so he's got bots. If he wants to go up there. I think he'll probably just be pushed top and then maybe come down and join his teammates.
And he's also caught on that cheese as well, so he's going to be set for that next fight if he wishes to join it. But it looks like there was the potential then pushing in, trying to force out, or getting How again during that buyback period. But it looks like Fear's not confident in risking his own buyback status for that. And wants to wait it out till he gets buyback. Oh, forget it! Fear wants to go in. Wizards goes up to How. He's getting low. Will they be able to bring down the AM? Yes, they will. That's a dieback on How. He's down for 2 minutes straight. Now they turn their attention to Super. Super does what he can. He needs to kill Fear. Can they? No! The cold embrace! Fear lives through it all! He gets healed up! He's A-OK! No, the Hex is there! Fly bringing him down! They'll get Fear! Both carries down to the ground! Super's still alive! Arcoside with himself without Sumail! Goes forward! Buyback from Sumail and Universe! looking for ice. The TPM, let's get it, Nor! He's gonna go down as well. Buyback now from Super. But Surveyor, he goes straight for the base, looking for more. Finding FY and Fenrir, but he's gonna get himself back. Fenrir and FY, a little bit too much for now. Owie's here, he wants to go for it. Owie with the side onto FY. The right clicks, they bring him low, they bring him down. That's FY down. 3 heroes down on the side of VICI without buyback. EG have only lost Fear. And off the back of that, they may well try to go for base. They've only got Super and Alina ready to defend. EG, can they go for the push? I think they can, Andy.
I don't understand. Fear goes so long.
Surveyor straight onto Fenrir. Where's your leader at now? He's got to go sacrifice him sometime. Will it be enough? He gets the good to play out of the universe, but it doesn't matter. He's still cold. Super trying to make his way back to base. Super looking for it. He's not going to dive that deep. Hasn't quite got the manage to do so, but forcing Super back to the base. Tier 3 on the bottom lane will go down to mid imminently. They have got the fortification buying them some time, but there's still a good 20 seconds or so until Tuski's back, and a good 30 before the anti-mage and Liner back on the pit. It is just down to this Leshrac, but I don't know how much he can do. Sumail is going to be able to find a set of racks here. Already the creep's pushing on to tier 4, and Fear's going to be back in 20 seconds, of course, with those bots ready to get himself right back into the action.
This game is completely insane. Like, the team fight at bottom lane, Fear lived for like 20 seconds. He didn't even get to use a Satanic. He didn't get to cheese. I think he got his BKB off, but they kept him alive so long, and Sumail dying with the Bloodstone heal actually made it so he almost was able to get out of that final disable coming out from, I think it was FY, and he would have been able to pop user Satanic and then bring himself back into the game. But this is absolutely insane. Like, the support play from both of these teams is just phenomenal. All the saving going on between like Blink snowballing and Cold Embrace plus the Glimmer Cape, it's just wild. Like, this is probably one of the best games that I've seen so far at the TI5.
Absolutely high octane coming out from both sides. Now, the interesting thing, of course, for the next fight, Fear will have his buyback available, and so will Hao. Just about a minute or so is the longest. Hao's waiting there for his buyback, and now they're going for Roshan here at the moment, bringing it low. Will EG be able to get there in time to do anything? It doesn't look like it, and this time VG should be able to claim Roche. EG they are about, but not the full 5-man. Fear moving closer, moving in, but now he can reach it. Oh, no, we're going to leave that one. Aegis is going to go the way of Leshrac. They'll grab themselves the cheese as well.
Now, this is huge for VICI. They absolutely needed that Roshan after EG just completely housed them in a teamfight bottom, only losing one hero and then going for another Rax. So at this point, having that Aegis, this could be the last hurrah for VICI to actually make something happen in a really big team fight. So now, Hao definitely needs to keep his Battle Fury because the lanes are just pushing in non-stop, and EG, they want to end it.
They do indeed. Their smoke's up, ready to go here in the mid lane. Is anyone going to out this one? Sumail's going to reveal himself. VICI maybe thinking about moving in here. They need to be able to get that display potential to Sumail if they want to kill him, but they've got to worry about Fear and the rest of the gang hanging around the corner. Ping's coming out to the top lane. EG maybe just looking to mega at this point.
No more YOLO blinks, please, Hao. That blink bottom is pretty much what kicked off that whole fiasco for VICI. Just Hao blinking and aggressively. Maybe thinking that he was safe, when in reality he wasn't.
VICI actually moving out the base here, so EG can have a bit of a window here to move forward. Tombstones drop. Tier 3 to drop as well here on the side of VICI. Fear just waltzing into the high ground, ready to go. Straight in. There as well. He's stuck up here, just get up to Satanic. Now with the Winter Skill, how can they go? Can they kill Hao? Well, Hao gets the back. He's going to run onto Fear. Manifold as well. He's going to go down. Potentially he's incredible. Colin Race doing a lot of work. Doesn't matter. Ripples. They're both back and they're both using it out there. The break of Universe burning on the side of EG. He's down for 70 seconds. Super is back. Alvin just juking out through the sideline. He's got to be careful here. Hao's found PPD going to work, but PPD with the Arctic Bird will be able to flap up his wings and fly the hell away. Blinking forward though, Hao he's trying to chase this one. Ice and Fenrir as well. PPD blinks again. They're looking for this Wyvern. Will they be able to find it? He's still on their tree line. Ice Shards is going to come outside. There we go. With the uppercut to PPD. PPD goes down. They get the Wyvern. And they do bring him down as well. And the Rax.
Hao in trouble. There are so many creeps. They've already lost one tier 4. They trade an Aegis. They trade an AM buyback for defending their last set of racks. A very high stress situation right now for VICI. The problem they're going to run into is they used a buyback. They used an Aegis, but all of their lanes are so pushed in, they're not going to be able to get them out far enough to really force anything out of VG. So even though they find a couple of big kills, they take down Fear, they take Universe, they take PPD, Howie has to sit in the enemy base for like a minute because he doesn't know how he's going to get out. Like, all that aside, it's still not enough. Like, they need to be able to push out the lanes.
It's going to be triggering out this by 62 minutes as well. This is going into one of those longer games here, which we're seeing a fair few of here at the moment with the group stages of TI5. 42-31 at the moment. Now ready to push. We're in a similar situation to what we were about 10 minutes ago. Both carriers on the pitch, but both without buyback available for a good 5 minutes or so. So a very risky point for both of these teams. And it looks like VICI are going to want to try and go on the aggressive here. Getting that momentum going down the mid lane. Maybe looking to see if they can break the base of VICI and look for set of racks himself. But Samael, he's trying to pick off the stragglers here. He's going to, he just slips in and TP straight back out. He's trying to get a bit of damage onto F1. And Super leading the charge here with the push. PPG's going to be back up in 12 seconds. It's going to be very, very hard for VG to break the base with VG full roster back up. And they realize VG just backing up. I mean, what is the play now from VG? Do they just have to kind of wait for EG to go for it again? Or can VG afford to go out themselves and actively look for a fight?
It depends on how confident you're doing. Like, most of the time, the carries don't have buyback at this stage in the game. It's considered very risky to try to go for any play like that. Like you say, okay, we want to smoke up because maybe the enemy won't expect us to try to do this. But if you see the positioning of EG, they are all on top of each other. They are doing this as a precaution to make sure that if they are trying to do some kind of crazy smoke play, that they will have everyone there ready and available to take the fight on that spot, because they realize that one fight can lose you the game at this point. Doesn't matter if you're ahead 2 set of racks. And AM with this many items, and a Shrek, who's this stacked, they will be able to kill your base if you lose your carries again without buyback.
Well, that's the thing. VG are going to smoke up. They're going to leave their base. Maybe looking for a potential wrap round
EG have
here.
high ground though.
Moving in on to Samael. Now we got Ice taking more. What can they do here? Ice going to go some time now with the snowball. First off the Super. How? He's killing Super. No, Super's going to live. Just about. Nautical now. Super falls on the side of VG. He's going to be the first man in this fight. Super goes to Feather. They'll bring down Alina as well. Owie chasing down Ice on the side of this fight. Super does not have buyback. DVD and Fear coming into our zipping in. They'll find Ice. 3 heroes down on the side of VG. There is now the money and the ability for Super to buy back. But Ice decides he's out of the count for 75 seconds. He's been silenced. He's got to go step to get himself out. Trying to go in on Fear. The cold embrace is there from DVD, keeping Fear alive. And then already Sumail, he's killed the lion. And now Fear against Super. Super trying to get what he can out. Looking for the right opportunity, blinking, and there it is. Lucas hexed up straight away from Howie. Fear going for Howie. Okay, you're trying to find a way out. This one, the man going for Fear. All the cheese. He's going to be okay. Super trying to do what he can. Howie getting low here in the tree line. Howie trying to get himself out of this one. Running away to some Howie. GG, well played, is called. 4 heroes on the deck for VG. And he moves Super ceremonially as well at the end of the game. And game 1 of EG versus VG going to the Americans.
Dear God, what a game. What a game. Unbelievable performance coming out of both teams. EG with a really strong start. We talked about their laning phase. It was incredibly potent. Their supports outside of VICI, F5 and Fenrir